Final portfolio. Here we have my summer sculpture. As you can see, I just threw it together with some sticks, leaves, and rocks. Basically, the assignment was to go out in the wilderness and find materials to create a sculpture that represented my summer. We have my 5-hand project here, or my 4-hand project. First hand is made out of a tube of hand sanitizer and Q-tips. Next one is made out of a bowl, a ring, and nails. Third one is a paper towel tube that I just cut up and made fingers out of. And the last one is lead containers for mechanical pencils and sticky notes. I think the problem I had with these was I couldn't really find anything to put together, so I had to scrap these together at the last instance, which was very bad. Here we have, in one of my opinions, one of my best works of art, my self-relief portrait. It came out very nicely, and all the pieces fit together perfectly. I mean, there are some weird areas, but otherwise, there was no real difficulties with this one. Besides, it was very time-consuming. As you see from the picture I did, use a variety. I used cards, tickets, game pieces, and Scrabble pieces. So it was very, on my part, a very good project. This is one of my worst projects, I feel, my animal bust. It was supposed to be a elegant bird, but a couple of pieces broke off and I wasn't able to fully prepare it, and wasn't able to mold it into the way I pictured it, which was very disappointing but understandable at the same time because I was in a bit of a time crunch. This is my bobblehead. It did not come out the way I expected it, but it came out a lot better than what I hoped. The head bobbles very nicely on the body, and even though it is horrendous. And the paint job is not too shabby. I mean, there are spots here and there, but those are incredibly difficult to get. I feel like this is not my best work, but it's a pretty good piece of art. My skull, I have to say, one of my more average pieces. I didn't have any real troubles on it, but it wasn't really a successful piece in my mind. I mean, the painting's good, and each of the 3D piece aspects up to it are very nice, but I don't know. It's just not one of my best, I have to say. This is my book sculpture. I have to say, it turned out very nicely despite what my planning was. My original plan was to turn it into a mask, carve all the way to the other side of the book, and, well, majority to the book side, and then carve the other side into a more face-like shape. So you could actually fit a face in there, but I had to carve each page at a time, and that was just taking so long. So I just decided to carve inward with a face. Gave it teeth, scary eyes, nose, and a tongue. It was, I'd say, a pretty good turnout, despite what my original plan was. This is my Frank Gehry piece. It is a combination of a ruler, 2 pieces of paper, 2 colored pencils, a protractor, a pencil, and a calculator. I felt it was more like his fish sculpture in the way that it symbolized an animal, but in a very abstract sense. the animal I tried to symbolize was a seal. As you can see, right here, you have its head down, the fin, the flippers, and here the back of the seal. Believe it or not, I just threw this together. I didn't actually plan this at all, but it came out all right in my mind. One of my best works of art, my social issue. My social issue here is, police brutality. Mainly, as you can see, the police hand on the top beating down on the civilian hand into the ground. And you can tell they're beating because, that's a fist, and that's all bloodied right there. I like how I made it hanging, so it's not like glued on top here. Otherwise, there was no real difficulties besides hooking it up and getting something to stand it on. But I feel like it turned out very nicely. I totally forgot about this one in the beginning, but this is my artist-inspired sculpture. The artist that inspired me to do it was Salvador Dali. Mostly his realistic 3D art. I decided I wanted to do something very bland like that because all other 3D sculptures were very abstract, very wild, right? I needed to do something more realistic. So this face with a mustache came out very nice, I think. It was just thrown together by clay I found in the ground, but otherwise, it was really pretty fun to make. And finally, my community project. If you cannot tell, it is supposed to be a head. I've been trying to work it out with the neck right here, the major head right here, smile, nose, and hairline. So far, it's all made out of chicken wire and other sorts of wire, but I've been trying to see if I can add other pieces, such as buttons for the eyes and, cloth for hair, but I haven't really gotten anywhere with it. But that's not such a bad thing, so overall, this year I feel like my art's improved in the 3D world very nicely, but I have to say from this experience I am going to stick to a lot of 2D art. I'm not a very good 3D artist, I can tell you that. Well, it was a fun experience. One that I hope to possibly never have again.